Hello, all. Welcome to a new episode of Silly Point. We are carrying on with our preview of the IPL teams. Today, we're going to talk about two teams that came in the top four in last year's IPL, but unfortunately couldn't get to the finals. So, we're going to talk about RCB, who I know is a big favorite team for a lot of people, a lot of fans out there for RCB, and Sunrisers Hyderabad, who have a pretty good team. Just think that their spin bowling is very strong. Their openers are very strong, but everything else is questionable. But we'll come to that. As always, we've got Zahid here. So Zahid, what are your initial thoughts on these teams, and how do you think they did in the auctions?
Yeah, I think RCB did pretty good. I mean, they did what they needed to do, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so good for them. I think. Well, the other thing is the experience that some of their players have had, like Siraj,
yeah,
just the international cricketers, will be like a new signing in the sense that he's going to be a much improved player than what we saw last year.
yeah,
I think they were obviously lacking, a good fast bowler in the death.
yeah,
So maybe maybe Siraj and Saini, can do that for them.
yeah.
And Sunrisers, I mean, they didn't really have much of an auction window. I mean, they strengthened by getting Jason Roy and Mujib, which I don't think how they can fit them in the starting 11.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I
they have the
agree.
strongest foreign contingent and probably the strongest foreign bench in the IPL. They could probably have two teams with four foreign players each.
I agree. I
Um,
agree. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's their openers are all kind of big foreign players, and their
yeah,
spinners are Afghanistan are
yeah,
from the Afghanistan national team. So
yeah,
very strong spinners and openers, but we can talk about what's happening in the middle
yeah.
and about the fast bowlers. So yeah.
Should
Uh,
we start with RCB?
yeah, we can start with RCB because hopefully it should. I mean, their starting 11 should be straightforward.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
it's
Sorry, go on.
no, I mean yeah. Given the changes that they've made, and given that Kohli's very vocal about him opening the batting,
Yeah,
so I think a lot of that kind of sorts itself out.
yeah,
Um,
true.
so Kohli and DDP will probably open. Well,
Yeah,
definitely
well,
will open.
yeah, they will definitely open provided they've that particle recovers from COVID because he is in quarantine at the moment.
Oh, is he?
So there is a chance that he might miss a couple of games, and I guess he'll be back once he recovers. And I think it might be a blessing in disguise because then you have a youngster called Mohammad Azruddin, who's a
Yeah,
wicketkeeper batsman. He did very well in the uh, domestic Indian T20s, the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy.
yeah,
So he can open and he can keep wickets as well. So
yeah,
that will take off some pressure from AB, who kept last year.
yeah. But I would have expected Azharuddin to bat at three anyway, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, in that case, then yeah, I guess they'll have to pick another player, and I can't
Yeah,
seem to find any other openers in their
Sachin
squad.
Baby.
Sachin maybe is more of a middle order bat, to be honest. Maybe KS Bharat,
Yeah,
who is who's been in and around the India A squads. So he's also a wicketkeeper batsman, and I think he opens in domestic cricket. So he
yeah,
might be a like for like replacement until DDP comes back.
yeah. But I think I mean, fully fit, fully available. I think they'll go with Kohli and DDP,
Yes,
and
yes.
I would think Azharuddin at three to
Azudin at
keep
three,
wickets as
yeah,
well,
and he can keep as
and
well.
then of course AB and Maxwell 4 and 5.
Yeah, and I think Dan Christian at six. I know there's been a lot of talk about whether old players can do well or not. We've talked about CSK's Dad's Army. Dan Christian is one player. He's 38 years old, but just look at the impact he's had for the teams he's played for in the last couple
Yeah,
of years. He's won almost all all the trophies out there, all the domestic T20 trophies out there. So I think it's a great acquisition by Royal Challengers because
yeah,
he can hit the big six in the in the death, and he can bowl some he can bowl some medium pace as well. So he's a good
yeah.
sixth bowling option to have.
Yeah, I think Dan Christian is a good player. I think we'll come later on. Maybe they have some flexibility. Maybe they might want to play two bowlers, foreign bowlers.
Foreign bowlers,
Obviously
yeah, yeah,
Jamison will be one, and then maybe Kane Richardson.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, they do have that flexibility, and obviously having Dan Christian
yeah,
at number six, it gives them a good, in case AB or Maxwell fail, they do have Christian who can finish off.
Yeah.
And then number 7, I think, will be Washington Sundar.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Number 7 will be Sundar, and number 8 will be Kyle Jamieson.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
he's a
mean,
decent handy batsman also,
yeah,
lower
handy
down.
batsman. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and
And
then
then,
well, the 3 bowlers are pretty straightforward as well, right? You'll have Chahal, Saini, and Siraj.
yeah, I agree. I agree. And I guess depending on conditions, like you were saying, there's flexibility there. If if for example they want to play Adam Zampa,
Yeah,
then there's always an opportunity to drop Christian and play Zampa as a third
yeah,
spinner.
yeah.
Um,
Or they
or,
can play Kane Richardson,
or play Kane Richardson, yes, in place of Siraj, or they could also
Daniel
uh,
Sams.
play Daniel Sams. Yes, Harshal Patel is also in the squad, right? He's also
Yeah,
kind of an all-rounder. Well, you call him bowling all-rounder. So lots of options there, and it looks like a much stronger squad than last time.
yeah. On paper, I
That's
think, yeah.
my opinion.
Although they've lost Aaron Finch, they've lost quite a few people actually. They've lost Moeen Ali,
Yeah,
they've lost Chris Morris, they've lost Dale
yeah.
Steyn.
I mean,
But
I
I
guess
think
the
in terms of balance, I think especially with Siraj getting good exposure, I think he'll be
yeah,
one of the key bowlers
yeah,
for
agreed.
them. So I think
Yeah,
it kind of gives them puts them in a good. And Kohli at the top, I think that makes a big difference.
yeah, I guess so. And obviously they've got Finn Allen, who's a
Yeah,
really exciting opening bat from New Zealand. He just smashed 70 of 20 balls or 30 balls against Bangladesh. So
yeah.
something special to look forward to there as well in case he gets a chance to play. So I think pretty balanced squad. I mean, so are you saying that Mohammad Siraj will be highest wicket taker for RCB?
Mm, I think he'll be important, but I don't think I think he'll probably still be Yuzi Chahal. I think he'll take a lot
Yeah,
of wickets because he's a leg spinner and he bowls
yeah,
at different phases of the game.
agreed.
Siraj, I think Siraj and Sundar, I think they'll be good at keeping the runs down.
Yeah.
Probably bowl 4 or 5 overs between the two in the power
Yeah,
play. But I think Chahal will still be the main wicket taker.
fair enough. Yeah, I agree that Chahal will be the highest wicket taker, and it's probably fair to say that Virat Kohli would be the highest run scorer, unless you disagree.
Has to be. I think it was DDP was last year, but given that he
Yeah,
might miss
yeah,
the first couple of games,
yeah, yeah,
Kohli at the top. I mean, he will open every single. Well, he should open every game.
yeah, yeah,
Again, that's the thing with AB and Maxwell. You don't know who's going to bat at 4, who's going to bat at 5. They might not get a long enough chance
yeah. Score the
to
runs.
score the runs, but
Yeah,
they will both have a key role to play. But I think
yeah.
Kohli top run scorer for me.
Cool. And X
And
Factor player.
does Glenn Maxwell count, or is he too
Yeah, of
mainstream?
course. No, I think
I'll
Glenn
go with
Maxwell
I'll go with
counts.
Glenn Maxwell. I'll go with Glenn.
Especially because he hasn't performed as well as he would
Yeah,
have liked in the IPL. He's the big show in T20 internationals, but when it comes to the IPL, he hasn't done justice. So he
yeah,
does count.
yeah. I think now with I think with AB to support him as well, he doesn't have all the pressure on him.
Yeah,
So I think he will perform again. He'll have an inconsistent series, but I think he'll have a few key,
yeah,
a
yeah.
quick 50 here and there. Which and even his bowling, you
His
never know. He
bowling,
can,
yeah. I was
yeah,
going to say that he could be a good power play option against the left-handed batsman.
yeah.
So he could, I agree that he could be an X factor. So, we kind of agree on most
Everything.
picks on almost
But
everything.
I'm sure one thing we won't agree on though.
Is what whether they're in the top four or not.
Yeah, I
You
have
think they?
them. I think they'll do. I think they will make it to the top 4.
I agree with you as
Um,
well. I agree with
I
you. I
don't
mean,
top 2 maybe not. I mean it's a lottery.
yeah, yeah,
Top 2. I don't think they have it all to go all the way.
yeah,
But I think their starting 11 is as good as any.
yeah,
But maybe their squad depth.
yeah,
Their domestic bench strength is a bit weak.
yeah.
If anything happens to
I
Kohli,
mean, yeah. I think this has been. I know I say this every year, but I genuinely think this is RCB's best team
yeah,
squad that I've seen. In the last 13,
yeah,
14 years of the IPL. So yes, they've probably got the best chance this time around of winning the IPL. But I've talked about Virat Kohli's leadership skills in limited overs formats, and where he struggles. So I feel for that reason it might, I think they're probably destined for third, fourth,
yeah,
and kind of not making it to the finals either.
yeah,
So yeah. So again, we
yeah.
agree. We agree on
Top 4.
everything. We agree on everything. A big change
Surprise,
for you
surprise.
though. Big change
Yeah.
for you because last year you said RCB will win it.
No, I don't think they quite have it in them.
Yeah, yeah,
to win. And it's also because we'll come to the teams, the other teams that we discuss,
yeah, yeah.
who we think can win it. Speaking of, the other teams,
Yeah.
Sunrisers, I think it's
Really,
very, I mean, it's very, it's tough because I mean, they have very set positions. I think five
yeah,
or six
true.
players are pretty much certain starters, and then
Yeah,
depending on conditions and players, I think especially with the foreign players, well, you just don't know who's going to play given they have so many options.
agreed, agreed.
But I think David Warner will definitely obviously open.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, I don't know who the other opener is going to be. If they go down Bairstow or Roy, they're not going to
Well,
obviously have both or Williamson. They can only have probably one of those three.
I agree. Right? Obviously, they can only have one of those three. But in terms of balance, this is my opinion. I might be completely wrong, right? But just in terms of balance, it makes sense to open to have an Indian opener who can keep
Yeah,
so one of Ridhiman Saha, who obviously had some very very big innings the previous year. So one of Ridhiman Saha or Shrivats Goswami, who both are openers and
yeah,
they keep as well. So they have the license to go bang bang, right?
yeah. I'll
Uh,
go with Saha as well. I think Saha
yeah,
and
we
Warner
can go with
probably.
Saha. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
I'd like to have Williamson at three.
yeah. I think Williamson will probably play four. I think Manish Pandey was pretty
Yeah,
much number three, right?
fair enough.
So
Yeah, you could switch between them as and when you like, but this is my opinion, right? I just feel like Williamson is more of a dynamic player.
yeah, and he
Jason
showed
Roy
that
and
he can really pump it up if he
yeah,
needs to,
yeah.
right? So
He's
I
he's
think
there. He's there in case they have a collapse, and he's
yeah,
there. He can also score quickly. He's shown
yeah,
that in the previous IPL. So I
I
think just
agree.
for his dynamism, it's probably nicer to have him at 3-4.
So do we agree then that both Roy and Bairstow are going to probably not
Yeah.
going to start?
Imagine this. Imagine us saying that the England team's T20 openers
Yeah,
are not going to fit into an IPL team. Well,
but you can't really. Where do you put them in? It's
it's
impossible.
Sunrisers' own fault, right? So they had an injury for Mitchell Marsh, who's an
Yeah,
all-rounder, and they replaced him with Jason Roy.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
unless there's thinking of something very funky, where they maybe have David
yeah.
Warner down the order, they don't play Williamson, and they want to open with one of Bairstow and Roy, that kind of
Well, why
thing.
would you do that? I mean, Warner's been scoring 500, 550 runs every year for the past 6
Why
years,
would
right?
you?
So yeah,
Why would you want to break something? Why would you want to fix
exactly,
something that isn't broke? So
exactly.
yeah,
I
I
think
agree
that
with
yeah,
this.
and then I
Um,
think they'll go with an Indian core. Well, they
yeah,
don't have an option. They'll have to go with an Indian core in the middle order.
I agree. I agree.
So a mixture of Abhishek Sharma, who did pretty well, I think.
Yeah, Abhishek.
Abdul Samad,
Yeah, and Priyam
uh,
Garg.
yeah.
I think those three are probably like the middle order options. I mean, you could
Would you go
probably
with
have
Kedar
Vijay
Jadhav as
Shankar.
well? Kedar Jadhav is not a deep bad pick.
I am not counting. I think Kedar Jadhav was one of the worst buys of the auction. I mean,
I mean, they
it,
paid two
it,
crore for him, so they must play him, right?
2 crore was his base price, right? So I think they just picked him as a replacement in case someone like Manish Pandey or one of these youngsters. Do you think he can score as quickly as these guys? I don't think so.
No,
I don't
I
think he
don't.
has it.
No. But what I would actually would like to see, and this is so we're going 5, 6, 7, and 8. If I look at this, I would actually have Abhishek Sharma, Abdul Samad, Mohammad Nabi, and Rashid Khan
Okay.
as because I think they have enough domestic fast bowlers. So they maybe don't need Jason Holder yet. Depending on conditions, they can swap Nabi and,
Yeah,
and
of
Holder.
course. Yeah, agreed.
But I would have Abhishek Sharma and Abdul Samad, who's supposed he can hit the ball big.
Yeah.
So I'd have them, and then you'd have your 9, 10, 11, which obviously would be Kumar, Natarajan,
And probably
um,
Sandeep Sharma.
Sandeep, yeah, or Khalil
Yeah.
Ahmed.
Yeah. I think, yeah. I think that seems reasonable, right? So yeah, I think that seems reasonable. I mean, I was only
Yeah,
going to say that, you know, it would be a little unfair on Jason Holder just
yeah,
because he had a phenomenal IPL last year. Obviously, that was in the UAE. We're now in India, different conditions and stuff. But
yeah. That's
yeah,
why I
I
think
mean,
Mohammad Nabi
yeah,
is
it's
not a
a,
bad
it's a,
option.
it's a Jason Holder / Mohammad Nabi at number 7, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
uh,
yeah,
yeah.
and
No place for the 3D player,
no
Vijay
place for
Shankar.
Vijay Shankar. I mean, yeah, I was going to say that he hasn't done much. He's a good
Yeah,
backup option to have. Again, Sunrisers are top notch with their bench strength. We've already discussed Johnny Best or Jason Roy. They've also got Mujibur Rahman. They've got Kedar Jadhav. They've got Vijay Shankar. In terms of the bowling as well, they've got Siddharth Kaul, Basil Thampi, Khalil Ahmed,
Yeah.
Shahbaz Nadeem. So, lots and lots of good domestic and international options there. But like I
Yeah.
said, this team looks heavy on the top. Actually, not now, not anymore.
No, I think
But
they're
if,
very well balanced
yeah,
actually.
actually now, having this discussion with you and picking their starting 11,
Yeah.
it looks pretty well balanced because you have a good combination of bowlers, attacking bowlers, defensive bowlers,
Yeah.
hitters, everything.
Yeah. I think
So,
it's similar
it looks a
to
good
to,
team.
to the RCB conversation. I think having Natarajan having some international experience, I think he's going to be a notch above, and having B Kumar back as well. I think that's a
Yeah, yeah,
big win
yeah,
for them. He'll be like a new player pretty much.
yeah,
Didn't play at all last season, and he's been in phenomenal form against England.
yeah.
So
I think
both of
it's
them,
yeah, I think it's fair to say that
yeah,
Sunrisers probably have the best bowling attack in the IPL.
yeah, with Rashid Khan, and Nabi,
I
or
mean, it's surprising. It's surprising that they're all kind of medium pace bowlers.
yeah,
They're not fast bowlers as we
yeah,
call them. Bowlers who can bowl 140 plus. But yeah, I think overall their attack is the best with
yeah,
Bhuvi Kumar, Natarajan, and Rashid in there. You've got
yeah,
three phenomenal players. So I think they have
yeah.
got the best bowling attack.
Yeah, and then all with very specified roles, right? So Kumar can
Yeah,
open the bowling,
yeah,
Natarajan finish, and Rashid Khan in the middle.
yeah,
So it'll be very difficult for the opposition to really get away.
yeah,
And so even if two of them have a good day, then that's 8 overs gone pretty much. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's a very
Agreed.
strong position.
Fair
Top
enough. So
scorer,
does that mean we're top scorer? I was going to say
David
top
Warner.
wicket taker. Yeah, top scorer David Warner.
David Warner is
Let's not discuss that. He might he I think he might have like a bumper year
yeah,
like he did a while back. Like 800 runs, that kind of thing. That's what I'm expecting
yeah,
from him. In terms of wicket taker, I guess it could be anyone from Rashid, Bhuvi, Natarajan, one of them.
yeah. I'll go with Rashid Khan just because just because
Just
he's
cause.
Rashid Khan, just because he's Rashid Khan. But
Well,
it
I
could
was
be.
going to say that again, it just comes down to the fact that, teams have understood the way he bowls. Not understood, but they'll be more careful of not giving any wickets to him.
Yeah,
I think for Rashid, they'll think, other teams will think that, okay, if
yeah,
Rashid has bowled 4 overs, 24 for zero, that's a win
yeah.
for them. That's
So that's
what
what
I
we thought
think. That's
last
what.
year, right? But he still ended up being second highest wicket taker in the tournament, or third
Okay.
highest wicket
Yeah.
taker, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we thought last year as well. But they still got,
Yeah.
got away with wickets.
Fair enough. Yeah,
So
yeah. So fine. You're going with Rashid. I think I'll go with Natarajan.
yeah.
Yeah. And in terms of X Factor player,
Oh, it's. I mean, one of the two, whoever plays between Nabi or Holder, whoever plays more, I
yeah,
think that's a very key position
yeah,
because they will be finishing the inning. I think once Bairstow, Williamson, Sahas lay the platform,
yeah,
that finisher role will be key. I think that's where they lost it a lot. They had really good start and then lost their way last year.
yeah. True,
So they
true.
have that. I
Yeah,
think one of those two, whoever gets to play more.
yeah. I mean, for me, I can't look beyond Bhuvaneshwar Kumar just because he's
Yeah,
had such a long injury layoff. We saw his form in the England T20s. So yeah, I just think that having him in the team makes a very, very big difference.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, definitely he'll have an impact.
And now we come to the big question. Where do you see them finishing in the table?
I can see them winning it. They are
Winning it.
actually my
Fine.
pick. They're
Yeah.
my pick for this year.
Yeah.
Uh,
I kind of agree. I had two teams. It's too early to
Obviously,
call.
MI and
Well, I was not going to say MI. We'll in our next episode we'll talk about the team I'm talking about. But I certainly think that Sunrisers have it in them to go all the way. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
I'm not going to stick. I'm not going to stick to like one team. I'm going to pick two teams to win it. But yeah, I mean, because you never know. We can come back. In our mid IPL. Review
yeah,
preview. We can come back and look at it again, revisit it.
yeah,
But I think at the moment, Sunrisers are looking very strong.
yeah. Same. I think they have a very good chance. I'd go with. I think I'd back them to win it.
Yeah, and to be fair, what is the difference in the team from last year to this year? I mean, the only thing is the inclusion of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar that
Yeah,
makes them look so strong, and the
and
fact that T. Natarajan has played international
yeah,
cricket, and the fact that if Williamson doesn't perform, then you can call upon, two English
Roy
openers.
Bairstow,
You
yeah,
can call upon one of the best openers in the game at the moment.
yeah,
So yeah,
exactly. So I
hopefully,
think that it's just the
performance.
strength and depth
Yeah,
is amazing. So
yeah,
yeah, I think they
one
are
to
my
watch
favorite.
out for.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. So that's our episode. Hope you enjoyed that. Let us know if you agree. Obviously, Zahid and me have agreed on everything with RCB. Do you think they have it in them to win it this time, or do you agree with us that Sunrisers have a very very strong chance of making it to the finals and going on and winning it? As always, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And see you for the next episode.
thank you.